Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Leilani of Barbados. I apologize for my background. I am not in situ at the moment, but nonetheless, I needed to get this juicy piece of gossip out to you. First of all, happy Commonwealth Day, everybody! Hooray! As we all know, Queen Elizabeth left when she passed away £650 million inheritance for her children. King Charles has decided that he's going to hold on to that for a while. Now, hold on a minute. Why does he even have it to begin with? Well, protocol says that the inheritance will pass from monarch to monarch because it is the most tax efficient way of getting the money out. Well, that's true. I mean, why pay taxes when you don't pay taxes? Doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. I don't understand that. Please, somebody, any accountants out there, or anybody that knows anything about taxes at all, will do. Please explain to me how that makes any sense. Why is there an issue about this trust or tax and trust law? Does not apply to them. They don't pay taxes. In any case, he has it and he's to dole it out to his siblings. Prince Andrew is whining about that. He's also whining about moving into Frogmore Cottage. He doesn't want to do that either. Just as a note, the Princess Royal and Prince Edward's are also not receiving this money, right? But the voice we're hearing right now is Prince Andrew. And that brings me to my conspiracy theory. Well, not my conspiracy theory, but there is a conspiracy theory going around right now, and it may shed some light on why Prince Andrew is in such a tizzy in general. Ghislaine Maxwell is screaming from behind the bars of her prison cell that she never saw Prince Andrew do anything inappropriate with anybody of any inappropriate age, and he's completely innocent, and she did not see anything, and she did not hear anything, and she don't know no evil or see no evil or do no evil. Ghislaine Maxwell has been sentenced to 20 years for assisting in the trafficking of minors. And when you think about that, it sounds like a very long sentence for assisting somebody in something. Well, let's just put it this way. In all the horrific ways you can possibly imagine she assisted with. Why is she deciding to talk about Prince Andrew? Well, maybe it's because, and this is a conspiracy here now, she thinks the royal family can bail her out, a la Brittany Griner, who was exchanged, you know, that basketball player in America who was exchanged for a Russian merchant of death, arms dealer. He was called the Merchant of Death. His name is Victor. Was it Victor Bout? Yes, his name is Victor Bout. Ghislaine is thinking maybe the royal family could also have her removed and saved and whatever. They're so powerful. And in the event that doesn't work, she can always say that she was not given a fair trial because she was blackmailed by Prince Andrew and forced to support him. And it was not fair on her. Okay, this is what is happening now. So I hope that the royal family will do whatever they can to avoid any interaction with Miss Maxwell. One thing we do know for sure is that manipulation and strategizing is very much what she's good at. Logistics and so on and so forth. So they must be very careful with her. I don't know if King Charles is bracing himself for that, and so he's therefore trying to detach Andrew from certain things. And of course, save Sarah, save the corgis. You know, Sarah is in charge of the Queen's corgis that she left behind in her care, and it's important that she maintains her lifestyle, her house, and the corgi without any craziness going on with Andrew that may compromise her safety, security, and their lifestyle, I guess. By the way, did anyone catch that whole Sarah never met Meghan Markle thing? Because I remember distinctly Harry talking about that it was important for Meghan to meet Sarah, Fergie, Duchess of York or not, I don't know, first, because that would have broken the ice with her. I don't understand why it's such a big deal who you meet first and who you don't meet first. People are people at the end of the day. I would have probably been a little bit insulted if he thought that I needed to meet Fergie first. And that's the level I'm at. I need to start at that level because... That's a low bar. And according to them, Sarah then taught Meghan how to curtsy really quickly before she went in to meet the Queen. And yeah, Sarah never met her. According to Sarah, they want nothing to do with that.
I'm sure one thing
Sarah Ferguson might remember, is that Meghan and Harry decided to announce their pregnancy at her daughter Eugenie's wedding to Jack. In his new memoir, Spare, Harry opens up about the first time the couple broached the subject with their relatives. Harry writes in his novel that he and Meghan had planned on starting a family after they tied the knot in May of 2018. They learned they were expecting a few months later, so they decided to tell members of the royal family at Princess Eugenie's wedding on October 12, 2018. Oh, October 12th. That's my son's birthday. No, but seriously, just a little anecdote, personal one. My mother-in-law decided to announce her pregnancy at her sister-in-law's wedding. And let me just tell you, there's been a rift ever since. The resentment still is there, and I think everyone agrees that that is a very pick-me and childish thing to do on someone's big day. I mean, look at Harry, like he still doesn't think anything's wrong with that. But anyway, since they are the most important people on earth, you see, to him, it was totally normal for them to do that. And he still is admitting to it. There was some controversy at some point where someone said, no, they didn't really say that at the wedding, and there was back and forth about that. But as you know now from Spare, it happened. And he's proud of it. Well, that was just a little side note. But going back to the news, Charles is being booed here, there, and everywhere that he goes. Might have something to do with the line of succession being published on the royal website. Lilibet and Archie now stand number 6 and 7, I believe, in line to the throne. But it's funny because I don't know if Charles has ever met Lilibet. I don't know if he realizes that there is a lot of chatter about them even existing, and that maybe he should sort of determine that to be the case first before he goes and puts them on a list, an official list. That could be part of the reason people are just saying he's not a king, he's not my king, and that they would like to have a choice as to whether he should be the next king of England or not. And so there are 3 options really. Either he becomes king on May the 6th. 2 is that he becomes king for a little while on May the 6th and then hands it over to William in a little while, like a year. I don't know. The 3rd choice is that he just gives it to William before May the 6th and then we crown William, which would be amazing. I don't know. I think when I look at the 2 of them, I think that William is the man for the job. I've always felt that though, even before the Queen passed away and everything. So I don't know. Just tell me what you think. Those 3 options: King now, forever; King Charles now, but just for a little while; or William, King now. Those are the 3 options. The main problem with Charles, according to the public, is that he's not very communicative, and the people who have met the Queen said that she was very well informed about all things and very communicative to them, and that Charles is not. I wonder why they'd say that. I know that reminds us of somebody. When I saw it, it reminded me of somebody. Everyone has somebody like that in their family that can't bother to communicate. The question is, do we want that as a king though? And I mean, there's a lot of challenges with this family, as you know, that he's going to have to deal with. Primarily Meghan and Harry is a big problem. I think Harry's up to do another interview. Oh, and speaking of doing other interviews, Andrew's also going to be doing another interview. Well, he's asking to have his side of the story told by him. He wants to make up for that terrible interview he did a couple years ago with Emily Maitlis or whatever. That went really badly. We didn't like the whole sweating thing. We want that clarified a little bit. Well, anyway, no, we don't. But he wants to clarify it. I think there are 2 American broadcasters that are shopping now for him to do this interview, and he's very willing to do it. So there's a lot of things that, King Charles is going to have to deal with right out of the gates. Primarily, I think the Meghan and Harry thing, that's really what's going on right now. They have been invited to the coronation. Their children have not. So you give them the titles, but you have to. I understand you have to give them the titles. I get, and you put them on the list, but you don't invite them to the coronation. Well, apparently they're not going to discuss the children's invitations until the parents have accepted the invitation. So these little mini wars going on all the time inside of the family at the moment, and Meghan and Harry are still not going to respond. They're not responding. They haven't responded. I think probably they think it's going to be leaked, because in their mini world of privacy, they don't want anything leaked, and they're afraid that if they accept the invitation, it will be leaked. And then if it's leaked, and then what? Are we sure that that's a problem? And then what? Guess who else is leaked? William is going to be there, and Catherine. Who cares? Inside their minds, they are the most important people that since sliced bread. I still don't quite understand. I know that name changing is not really possible as well. Harry is very much on the scene. And why would he change his children's names? But I would go as far to say that if you're so upset or butthurt, as they say, about somebody asking a question about the appearance of an unborn child, if that has you so angered and incensed that you have to go to America and make trillions of billions of pounds, money, whatever, dollars, baccaris, then why would you want them to have the titles? I mean, I wouldn't even want them to have the surname, really, to be associated with that. I personally would be like, well, let's even change their names, because I don't want anything to do with anybody Mountbatten, because Mountbattens and Windsors, they ask questions about appearances, and I don't like it. Anyway, I just had to jump on here really quickly and tell you this, really the conspiracy theory. What do you think about it? Tell me in the comments, please. Tell me if you've heard of this yet. It's kind of breaking news. It's hard to talk about these things because the YouTube doesn't really like when you talk about that certain case with Ghislaine Maxwell's ex-boyfriend. So we don't really talk about him. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comments about the whole palaver that's going on there. And will she be released? Can you believe this woman knows so many people? Like, she knows so many people that are trying to delete themselves from ever knowing her. These are pictures of her with all of these people, recognizable people, interesting people, not criminal people, you know? But the only one who is still there having to deal with her is Prince Andrew. He's just such a doofus, and it's just so hard to watch it. Hate to see it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching me, and I will be back in situ very shortly. Lots of love to you. Love you. Bye. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the bell notifications. Oh, and like the video if you liked it.